Today's market transcends beyond hubs and shops. Global Trends sets the pace for today's trader. On Africa Business Radio, we bring you Social Trader, keeping you updated around the world of online business across social media platforms on africabusinessradio.com.
Being an entrepreneur isn't for everybody. As painful as that may sound, it is the reality. It often takes years of hard work, long hours, and no recognition to become successful. A lot of entrepreneurs give up or fail for other reasons, like running out of money. Well, statistics show that over 50% of all businesses fail after 5 years, and 40% of startup failures are due to a bad fit, followed closely at 38% from lack of time and involvement. Running your own business and being in control of how you spend your time is amazing. Sometimes you can't even imagine doing anything else. But hey, you need to understand that you are not going to succeed all the time. However, you could have failed 3 times in a row, but the 4th could be the breakthrough for you. As much as we all desire success, entrepreneurship is not for everyone, sadly. That is why I'm here to give you 5 warning signs you are not cut out to be an entrepreneur. No hard feelings. Of course, there are other rooms to try other things, so you don't have to feel bad. Let's take a few, and when we return, I'll be back with all of that and more. Remember, this is the Social Trader Show, and my name is Onoja, your host. And welcome back. If you're just joining in, this is the Social Trader Show, where I serve you all that you need to build your business from point A to B. Well, here I'm going to be giving you 5 red flag signs that you're not cut out to be an entrepreneur. Remember, I started off by saying that not everyone is cut out to be an entrepreneur, and it doesn't necessarily mean that you don't have a space in the world to try other stuff. So you just don't want to waste your time doing the wrong things and getting hurt because you're investing and you're losing money. I mean, that is why I'm here to guide you. So the first sign, the first red flag is that you like to stay in your comfort zone a lot. Do you like to stay in your comfort zone a lot? If you like to stay in your comfort zone a lot, then you are the one I'm talking about. As an entrepreneur, no 2 days are the same. One day you could be all by yourself all day writing, designing, or even coding a new product. The next day you could be fielding sales calls, interviewing personnel, or being a guest on a podcast. If you're an introvert like so many people, the first day seems a bit more appealing, but you need to put yourself out there and be okay with being uncomfortable. It may sound cheesy, but if you can't remember the last time you took a risk, then maybe being an entrepreneur isn't for you. The famous Vera Wang, for example, took a big risk starting her fashion business, and today she has made names for herself. It was definitely out of her comfort zone. So, you need to step out of your comfort zone. If you try your best possible to step out of the comfort zone and you feel like your life is almost like, you're being choked for doing what you don't like to do, then you probably just have to give up the sport at this point. Okay, the next red flag would be that you are a procrastinator. Are you a procrastinator? Like they say, procrastination is the thief of time. If you procrastinate a lot, there's nowhere development will thrive in your business. If you can't manage your time effectively, you're bound to fail as an entrepreneur. That's the honest truth. When you work for yourself, there's no boss looking over your shoulder or monitoring your time card to make sure you're working hard. If you're not working hard at your own business, why are you even doing it in the first place? Ask yourself. If you're working hard but feeling like you're not getting anywhere, you need to take a step back and prioritize your tasks. Yeah, so you need to check yourself. If you procrastinate a lot, you say you're going to do something and you never get to do them, then you probably shouldn't be in the entrepreneurial space. Okay. The third one would be you don't know how to create marketing strategy. That's the third red flag. You do not know how to create marketing strategy. Now, this is a tough one, guys. Learning marketing takes a long time. Most entrepreneurs hire marketing agency to grow their own business, but they spend a lot of money hiring, but still there are no results. Sometimes the only option is to learn marketing yourself. Have you thought of that? When you're starting out, you need to wear all the hats, remember, as an entrepreneur. If you have to be the waiter, be the waiter. If you have to be the marketer, be the marketer. If you have to be the content creator, be the content creator. If you have to be the presenter like I'm presenting at the moment, be the presenter, all to make your business work. Yeah? You are the CEO, the Chief Executive Officer. At the same time, you should be the customer service agent. You should as well be the janitor, the marketing department, all rolled into one. Sounds fun, right? You can have a truly amazing product, but without the right marketing, no one will ever know about it. You need to spend time investing in learning how to market your own business. So it's not about just going around hiring people and, you spend so much money and there are no results to show for them. No, you don't want to do that. So if you do not have a passion to be a marketer, to learn strategies on how to market your own products and, sell yourself out there, then there's no passion for it, then you are not probably cut out to be an entrepreneur. The fourth, a red flag. You can't think of any problems to solve. You literally cannot think of any problems to solve. Think about your daily life, guys. Can you think of any one new product idea that, would make your life easier or more efficient? Maybe your idea is an automated dispenser for those thin produce bags at the grocery store that take forever to wiggle open between your fingers. Or you could even invent a new way to find what you're looking for in a grocery store, like a store app that includes a map of all the aisles instead of having to walk down each day. But in all seriousness, guys, if you can't think of any one small thing to improve your life or, the life of other people, then you are really on the wrong track. Because being an entrepreneur means coming up with creative solutions to problems and putting something new out in the world. Remember, every soul that you see in the world is meant to solve a problem. We all know that, right? If you are existing today, you're existing because you're meant to solve a problem. So what are you doing? What gap are you filling? Your idea could come from years of experience or out of the blue one day, but you need to have an idea. Most startup founders came up with their ideas by working in their industries for a while and seeing problems firsthand. A close second at 19% are founders who invented something they wanted to see in the world. In the third place at 11% are founders whose ideas are copies of other businesses but do something different or better than they do. Whatever category your business falls into, you need to figure out how to attract customers. That means finding out what problem people have and solving it. If you can't do that, you're not cut out to be an entrepreneur, period. The last but not the least is you make a lot of plans but don't take actions. I know a lot of entrepreneurs are guilty of this particular one. That might just be like a red flag that you're not meant to be an entrepreneur. You make a lot of plans, but you never see through to them. A lot of people actually think that making a business plan means starting a business. But this is wrong actually. For example, I could plan out my meals for the week, but unless I actually cook them, will I be eating them? Nope. Planning means nothing without action. Many people are afraid of failing if they start a business. A recent study in the European Union found that almost 40% of people considering entrepreneurship are scared of failing, and that is absolutely true. So guys, I have mentioned all that you need to know. If you fall in this category, there's no hard feelings. You might just have to decide. It might be a hard one because, you want to make money because you've seen your friends, your colleagues, or even your relatives making money as entrepreneurs and you just feel like, you want to do it. But you don't necessarily have to do it if you're not cut out to be. So if you fall in these categories, all of this that I've mentioned, then probably you're not meant to be an entrepreneur. Try something else and I promise you'll come back to thank me later. I hate to give out bad news, but then sometimes it's important to let it out. Alright, you're still listening to the Social Trader Show here on Africa Business Radio, and I am your host, Onoja, and I just took you through some of the 5 warning signs that you're not cut out to be an entrepreneur. I know this is really heartbreaking, but I'm sorry. The truth has to be said. Alright, moving on is our guest corner, where we get to speak with our social trader for the day. Get ready to get inspired. Don't go anywhere.
Today's market transcends beyond herbs and shops. Global trends sets the pace for today's trader. On Africa Business Radio, we bring you Social Trader, keeping you updated around the world of online business across social media platforms on africabusinessradio.com.
Yo, the moment we've all been waiting for is finally here, and I'm sure someone is out there listening and getting so excited because, yeah, that guest segment has finally arrived. And this is to say that I have an amazing person in the house. You know, for every time I get to this segment, there's this kind of relief. Oh my God, I'm not just going to be talking so much on this segment. This is me literally talking to someone who has had an experience, who is coming to say, yo, I'm part of this thing and I know what it means to be an entrepreneur. So this is not just me saying things. Having someone to come in and validate me and endorse me is one part of it that I love so much. And that is why I want to welcome you guys back from that break. And of course, I welcome you into the guest segment of the Social Trader Show. So my social trader for today is a prolific and amazing fashion designer. He is Paul Oga, a graduate of theatre and film arts from the University of Jos. He's a trained actor for both stage and screen dramas. Paul, who discovered his passion for fashion at a very tender age, decided that, you know what, I have to bring life to this thing. And he went on in 2014, after several years of experience, founded Oga Collections, a fashion brand that produces bespoke outfits for both sexes. Paul was the costumier for the stage play Wedlock of the Gods, a play by Zulu Sofola, as well as Iyase, a play by Ahmed Yorima. He has also been seen on screen of the movie Voiceless, among so many other success. Now, this is to say that my guest today is actually loaded with so much. So basically, we're just going to be talking entrepreneurship. We can, find time somehow to steal time to talk about the little things he does on the side. But he's here to actually encourage you, listener, the entrepreneur who's always looking forward to someone to encourage and to inspire you, to tell you what it feels like to be an entrepreneur. Hi, Mr. Paul.
Hi.
So I'll need you close to the mic so we'd get to hear you properly.
Okay, thank you.
How does it feel to be on Africa Business Radio?
Wow. Finally, it feels good. It feels amazing to see the ever-blazing Onoja.
Okay. Okay. I refuse to be hyped, but it's okay. Oh well. So it's the first time in Africa Business Radio, and to think that we are here passionately for entrepreneurs like you is overwhelming to see someone like you who is as creative, as talented as you sitting in the studio with me today. So we are going to start by you telling us how you discovered that passion, that thing for fashion. How did it come about? Because you started you had several years of sewing experience before you decide that, it's time to make money out of this passion that I have. So give us a little bit of filler.
Okay, thank you so much, Onoja. I feel privileged to be here. Fashion for me has been something from way back. Like I've had over 22 years of experience. It's something that is imbued already because I would say it's a family stuff. I grew up into it. I grew up into seeing my uncles sewing, my aunties sewing, and then it was like, okay, you were forced to do this thing. So it was like I was suffering then. It was
almost like a family trend that you have to follow.
Yeah. Okay. So I just had to follow it. But a whole lot of us didn't do that. I had to do it because I loved fashion. So while I was growing, I saw that, okay, this is what I actually want to do. I'm not this kind of person that I want to okay, let's sit down and wait for monthly stuff, monthly salaries and all. So I prefer to have my own business, be my own boss, create something out of nothing, That's the kind of person I've always been. So fashion for me has been something is in the blood already. Mm-hmm. So growing up, I didn't have the normal childhood that every other child had. You just have to play around, run around with friends. No, mine was go to school at a very tender age, come back home, go to the shop, and you have to learn. So that has been the experience. And in 2014, I said, look, this has to bring money home. So
I didn't think you were just doing it for fun, or you were doing it to assist your family, or you're just helping your family who have dived into the business already. Man. You didn't realize you could actually make money for yourself as well.
It was like I was pushed into it. I was pushed against my own will. My uncle did that. My uncle of blessed memory, he died sometime in 2019, and Man, I was so heartbroken. I was heartbroken, but that's by the way. So it was something I actually said, okay, this is something I have to make money from. Then I started in 2014. I've been sewing before 2014. I've been doing fashion before 2014. Of
course, I mentioned.
But it's just that it was time to make money off it.
To rebrand.
Yes.
Okay, let's quickly talk about Oga. Is it Oga Collection or Oga from your name? I think it's like almost like a fusion of your name.
Yes.
Okay, so it's Oga Collections.
It's Oga.
Okay, so it's Oga because this is me thinking that it's actually from your name, Paul Oga.
Yes, actually from my surname.
Okay.
So the surname, the Oga means the normal Oga, the normal
like the
head,
chief.
the chief, the boss.
The boss.
You know, so I felt like if I have to like get a name, then it has to be like
correlates with your own name.
Yes. So I just removed the H
and made it Oga. Oga Collections.
Yeah.
I must say that you made a really, really right decision by picking that, because I went through your outfits. Like I've been privileged to see your work, and I'm like, oh my god! You mean there are people who literally use their hands to create such a product?
Yeah.
It's so amazing. Tell us about your creative process. What do you think when you're sewing? Like, I remember a situation where we had to work together and I didn't have to tell you what I wanted. But then by looking at me and knowing what it is I probably look best at or in, you came up with something without my own consent and it came out perfectly great. And this has to be a creative process. How does that work for you? Now,
I could remember my first year in the university. There was this conventional way of people wearing clothes. There's this conventional way of, okay, this is what is obtainable. This is what should be worn. And I said, no. You know, men used to wearing flowered materials. Then, if you see a man wearing a flowered material, it has to be a vintage shirt.
Exactly.
Then I said, we can actually use a flower material to do a native. You can use a flower material to do anything that you want to wear. We shouldn't be restricted to a certain style of clothes. You know, then I said, okay, we must create something out of nothing. I'm just that kind of person that when I see something, I want to create something out of it. So that was, and your body also determines what you wear. You don't just see somebody and say, okay, this is what fits you. You must also look at the body of the person, the color, the person's body, and So I looked at what you would like. Okay, I've seen you on a couple of dresses, on a couple of wears, and I said, okay, these are the kind of things Onoja like to wear.
You saw me well. Saw me well.
Yeah. So I said, okay, let me make something maybe a little bit different, but close to what he likes to wear. So I had to come up with that.
And you did justice. Yeah. So, like, entrepreneurship as the aim of the show is a big deal. Not everybody that wakes up to say, oh, I want to be an entrepreneur, gets successful with it. Yeah. That is why we have a lot of people who begin, like in 2-3 years, they decide to just drop it along the line because they can't start the hurdle. There's just so much to carry. And it means that you have to be very, very strong and persistent to be able to get through the challenges that comes with this, choosing path or career. Yeah. Now, what has been that one motivation for you? Because I'm sure you must have had your own pros and cons. You've had moments that you've like, oh my God, this is not working. Like, I'm not getting client, or is this high time for me to quit? Or what is that motivation that has kept you going regardless of all the hurdles that come, which you're going to still mention to us, some of the challenges that you're facing or you're probably expecting to face because of some things that are not in place, but we actually hope for you to get past with ease. So tell us the motivation. What is that motivation that keeps you going regardless of everything that you see?
First of all, my first motivation is survival.
Like a gas chop.
Yes.
A gas chopper, so I need to work hard.
Survival. And I also see that for one to survive, you have to like put in hard work. Put in a whole lot of work. I was passionate about being a fashion designer. I was passionate about being a costumer. I was passionate about being a designer. And I said, okay, for me to get this done, there's something I have to bring out of myself, which is take out the mentality of just making clothes for fun. So I had to okay, I have to make money. In fact, the second aspect of it is making money, because as an entrepreneur, the one of your motive is making money as well. Yeah, so it's just one of it. Just one of it.
Great. So let me ask you this very sensitive question. Yeah. I know you must have passed through your hurdles, which is going to it's going to be my next question. Yeah, actually. But before then, fashion designing, as you guys call it, has become like a mainstream thing, mainstream stream of business in Nigeria and Africa. Yeah. Now, by saying that, I mean there are a lot of people like you out there doing the same business that you're doing. Because it has become a mainstream, like it's something that you can actually, most people, once they finish high school, the next thing they want to do, I want to just go and learn fashion. Okay, I'm bored. I'm just lazing around at home. I'm lounging. What am I supposed to do? And then the parents just say, with or without passion, they go and learn how to sew, go and learn how to do fashion and stuff. So it means that the stakes are really low. There are lots of people running into that stream of business. And it means that you have to be outstanding to make a certain kind of landmark in that sector. What is that one thing that actually stands you out from the rest of the fashion designers?
My style is different.
Okay.
You see, if you're making a particular style, like I said before, there used to be this normal conventional way of clothes. But these days, you see, we make clothes with artworks. We make clothes with artworks. We make clothes with a whole lot of designs. It's not just the embroidery this time around, because it just used to be embroidery.
Now you have to extra creative.
Yeah, but this time around, what makes you different is the style you're able to create. I did something for Funny G, who is a
comedian,
a very big comedian,
a very talented comedian.
I did something for him. Then I had to put his picture on his own clothes.
Oh.
Yeah, so it was something I had to just brought it out of nowhere. No, okay, normally we just used to see pictures on t-shirts, normal polo shirt, but
printed.
But these days we print pictures, we print artwork, we print whatever you want to see, or whatever you just imagine. You can put it on a dress and it goes well and it fits very well. I've done something for TJ Manari. He's also a Jos-based artist, a very big artist in Jos. Okay. And I had to put his picture and a mic and a microphone on his outfit. So what makes you stand out is
your level of
creativity, how you can manage to fix different materials, different colors. And talking about colors now, you have to be very color aware. If there's anything like that, you have to be aware of the colors that you're merging together. You don't just put colors together because you have or they are available to you. You have to know how to fix them, know how to manage them, know colors that goes with which colors. You understand? So that is what stands me out. My designs are different. My creativity is should I say is different from every other creativity I've seen.
So in a nutshell, this is you saying that it's basically about thinking outside the box.
Thank you.
Great. Because you're doing it so well. So I think, it works for you. Aside from talking the insatiable hunger to, meet up live, to survive as a major drive, right?
Yeah.
What are some of these challenges that you've faced in this business that sometimes you look back and you feel like, oh, I should have given up at this time, but then I went through it? Or this is if I'm able to kick off right now, then I'm a strong man.
Okay.
What are some of these challenges, or one basic one that you feel like has actually been a really hard knock on you?
Okay. Let me tell you this experience. I went to the university without any form of savings anywhere. And getting to the university, I realized it's not as if I don't have parents. My parents are there.
By the time.
Even up to now, they're still around. But I realized that there's actually nobody to sponsor me. So I had to sponsor myself through the university.
With your production? That's your sewing?
Production.
Wow.
So what do I have? What is the source of income that I would need to keep going? It has to be the fashion. So I make clothes just to survive in the university. Now, that has been a drive for me. passing through the university, it's not just paying school fees.
Exactly. There are lots of things.
There are a lot of things that are attached to the university or passing through the tertiary institution. So I was able to do that, navigate my way to the university through fashion. And I say, okay, if I come out of the university, do I have to like go about with my certificate, start looking for work? No. I had to like build on that experience that I've had from the university, and that has been like my major challenge at that time.
So right now you don't have issues like I have a lot of people, entrepreneurs that will come here to say, oh, as a fashion designer, I have always Nigeria has issues with electricity. I always have to fill my gen. Sometimes your clients don't come, or sometimes your client, your apprentice will either burn your client's clothes materials. There's none of that for you.
Do I call that challenges? I think they are just normal things that we go through as.
Okay, on that note, take us to that your take me to Jesus moment. What was that one experience that you've had with someone, one of your clients that kept you on a page of, we have like model of operandi for you guys, tell us in Nigeria. We believe that you guys are scammers. They give you a date, is either they come to tell you something, or sometimes they even vanish practically from the scene. You don't find them. Sometimes you wonder what happens. It's like they sell your material, or like they use the money you give them for something else, and then so what is that one experience you've had with a client that was historical, that you can never forget?
First of all, one of my principles is to change the narrative of tailors being disappointing, or tailors don't keep to time, or they don't keep to their promises. I've always started with, I don't disappoint. Even if I give you my card now, what you see on it first is, I don't disappoint.
So once I give you 1 o'clock Friday evening, come 1 o'clock, you get it.
Whatever time I give you, I might even finish before then and still call you. That is what I've tried to. That's the kind of relationship I've tried to build with my clients and my customers. You understand? It's not like I'm just saying this on radio. This it has to be a principle that this is what I should be known for. This is what people should be able to stand on their feet and say, once Oga Collection tells you this is it, then this
I trust
is it.
It's going to deliver.
You understand?
Great strategy.
So like my bad experience or
the worst.
You see, sometimes some clients will just come and drop materials, and they'll tell you, yeah, I'll be back. Just give me like 2 or 3 days. I'll be back. Maybe, for example, to give you a pay up front before you start their job, and the next thing you hear is the next 2 weeks you won't see them. 3 weeks you won't see them. And maybe a day before the events they want to use that stuff for,
They show up.
And
create scene.
And start creating scene.
So I've not seen money. There was no upfront. But I don't think they have the right to hold you responsible for anything.
Well, we live in a country where do you actually have your rights?
No, but I feel like you can't come to my office and begin to yell because you brought a material and dumped without any upfront payment or anything like that.
A whole lot of people will understand with you when you say it, but some won't. They will tell you, you know me now, you should know me now, that I won't run away with your money, blah, blah, blah.
So you've had that once experience.
Of course.
How did the person pull it?
I had this client that was supposed to go for a wedding. He came, dropped the clothes, we picked the style, dropped the clothes, and he told me, just give me a few minutes, I'll transfer. This age of transfer and all. I'll transfer. I said, okay. I said, sir, if I don't see transfer or if I don't see anything, I might not be able to make your clothes. And he was like, don't worry. Is this the first time I'm working with you? Is this the first time I'm telling you I'll transfer? And I don't. 2 days, 3 days. In fact, I chatted him up like, sir, how far? I've not seen anything though. He was like, don't worry. I think it's the network. I've done the transfer. So I don't know if there's a way there is this fake transfer.
Fake alert. Yeah, I think we've heard of it a lot.
I received an alert.
Hey God, that's crazy.
I received an alert. I checked my balance.
There was nothing there.
It was still the same balance I had before the alert came in. Then I called. I said, sir, I saw an alert too, but there's no money here. And he was like, how will you tell me there's no money? You saw an alert, so how will you tell me there's no money? Please do my work. will I say I won't do it? I had to do it.
Oh my God. Did you make attempts of going to the bank to find out what happened?
I went to the bank, they said they didn't see anything.
That's a scam, lad.
I didn't see anything.
So you had to run at a loss.
I just had to fulfill my, should I say my principle? I just had to go along with it because he said he sent money and there was an alert on my phone. But I went to the bank, there was no money.
I understand. Like, I know these things.
So it was at my own loss. Then later on he came and gave me the balance. So if I charge you for a particular amount,
100k, and then I got an alert of probably 60, and then you're coming to give me 40.
Yes.
So I've lost like 60%.
Exactly.
Off. Oh my goodness.
Exactly.
Wow.
I couldn't do anything.
Well, I'm sure you learned a lesson afterwards.
Of course I did.
Great. You learned a lesson afterwards. So that's really great. So that's an entrepreneur, as this show is created for entrepreneurs, like aspiring entrepreneurs and people like you who are in the business of entrepreneurship, also like facing their own hurdles. Some of them are able to go through it like you have. Some of them are still facing it. Some of them are yet to go through it. And that's the reason why we have people like you here to come speak and prepare people's minds to know that this path that you've chosen and these things are meant to happen. No, get ready for these things. If you have not had them, they're coming. If you've had them, know that, okay, you need to avoid them next time. Great. So there's someone listening, because that's the aim. There's someone listening across Africa, as we cut across Africa.
Okay.
They want to know your final words. What advice would you have for someone who is beginning, who is about to start this journey of entrepreneurship, or who is in it but a bit confused as to how to handle this calling? Okay. What advice do you have for them?
First of all, nothing is given. You take it.
This guy is deep, Sha. Nothing is giving. You take it.
Yeah.
So how do you guys call it? It's almost like the Bible reference that says, the violent take it by
force.
Okay.
Just know that it's not going to be rosy. It's a part that you have to create for yourself. You have to be distinct if you're coming into the fashion world. You have to be creative enough to be able to beat some competitions. Now, don't think it's going to be that easy or smooth. You have to pass hurdles.
Actually,
there are going to be hurdles. There are going to be financial hurdles. You have to you might not be able to get loans to get your equipment because you might not have collaterals for that.
Exactly.
So, if you're coming in as a beginner, you have to set standard as well. Set a standard.
Right.
You might not be able to meet that standard at that time, but you work towards it. Work towards it. Now, money shouldn't be the ultimate goal. Even though we all need money, we work for money, but you should have a standard. Like I said, have something you want to fulfill. Like, I'm doing this because I want to fulfill something. I want to fulfill a hunger in me. I want I want people to know that, okay, I'm good at doing this. Not at the end of the day, you just come into it because you feel people are wearing clothes
and everybody's doing it.
Everybody's doing it. Or don't do it because you are idle.
That's what most people do in this part of the world.
Yes, but don't do it because even if you do it because you're idle, then you should be able to, like, at the end of the day, put something on it. Like, okay, let me build on this. Let me work on this.
Like, you literally have to be deliberate about what you're making it better.
Yes. So you don't just come in because people are sewing or because people are wearing clothes or because you just want to be popular.
Exactly.
We have the Yomi casuals of today, the Mea Atafos of today, the Dot apparels.
Funny enough, these guys started really little. But look at where they are today. Yeah,
so these are guys I've followed up like the whole of my life since I started, and I said, okay, if these people can get to this place, I can actually get there and even surpass what they've done. Exactly. So have a standard, have a dream, have a vision that I want to get here.
That's the word.
Have a vision that I want to get here as I am starting.
Okay, really deep. I mean, we can't reiterate enough, like, the need to be persistent and to also, believe that this thing you're going for is actually not going to be easy. There's definitely going to be milestones There's going to be borders that you have to cross. There's going to be a lot of hurdles and lots of, challenges that you're going to face. So we cannot reiterate enough that you need to know, you prepare your mind to know that these things I've chosen to do, this path that I've chosen to be on is not going to be an easy one. Thank you so much, Paul Oga, for coming on the show. But before I let you go, we've spoken so much and it's almost beginning to sound like I'm just like hyping you on what is not visible. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to let people hear you from the horse's mouth now and tell us how we can get through to see some of the designs you've actually put out.
Okay. On Instagram, I am Oga Collections, one word.
Okay.
Oga Collection, OGAKOLLEKTIONZ.
Great.
That's Oga Collections.
Collections.
On Facebook is 2 words.
2 words.
Oga
Collections. Space. Okay. So if we go there, we'll check out, we'll see all your designs there and everything. And we'll be able to place an order as well from there.
Of course.
Great. So this is for, this is not almost like strictly for Lagosians. So if you're he actually can deliver anywhere.
Anywhere
in the world.
Yeah.
So you can go ahead, check out Oga Collections and you can come back and thank me later. Thank you so much, Paul, for coming by on the Social Trader Show today.
I appreciate it.
And do have a great one.
All right,
guys. Thank you so much for staying on time with me and staying to this part of the, the show and staying to the end of the interview with me. Moving on, you already know what time it is. It's time for us to check out our top 3 tips on how to succeed as an entrepreneur. So if you have this insatiable hunger for success and you want to know some of these tips that you need to inculcate to be successful as an entrepreneur, this is where you want to be, because after the break, I'll be back with that and more. This is Onoja on the Africa Business Radio Social Trader Show. Do not go anywhere. And that was the CEO Oga Collection himself, Paul Oga, taking us through his journey of entrepreneurship. An inspiring one it is. Okay, moving on without further ado is our top 3 tips on how to succeed as an entrepreneur. If you are an entrepreneur, if you're used to this system already, you already know what I'm about to share. Success tips that would help your business grow. If this is your first time, then I would advise you get your pen and paper, your notepad, anything at all that is your writing materials to help you pin down these success tips. My number 1 tip to succeed as an entrepreneur today is to look after number 1. What do I literally mean by looking out for number 1? Well, entrepreneurship is a lifestyle. The days of 9 to 5 are over. That is what it literally means. That's not to say that you must work yourself out into the ground. No. Exercise regularly, eat healthy, and find the time to relax, or you end up being less productive. Survey respondents, 64% said that they had to give up, their precious time with their family and friends due to work responsibilities. Working on your time management skills will help you clear enough time in your day to spend with loved ones. So you need to create time to spend time with your loved ones. Look out for yourself, take care of your body, exercise, eat healthy, and find a way to keep time, spare out time for your loved ones. Okay? It's one tip that you need to succeed as an entrepreneur. Remember, your mental health is important. You need to keep your body and your mental health in check. Number 2 tip would be never stop learning. There's a quote that says, the moment you stop learning, you die. And I believe in that strongly because as you live, innovation keeps coming up and you need to keep up with time. So never stop learning. There's always room to learn new things. Starting up your own business is a constant process of growth and learning. Know that it's important to enrich yourself with both practical and emotional skills. Take a look at free or low-cost e-learning resources to add to your knowledge. Sharpen your project or time management skills, learn a new software program, or teach yourself how to run your own social media campaigns. You can also work on your management, presentation, and motivation skills. If you travel a lot, podcasts like, TED Talks are great ways to inspire and educate yourself. Or maybe just log on to the website, Africa Business Radio, and check out our podcast. Find interesting shows that will keep you company and would enlighten your brains, especially this particular show that is a Social Trader Show that would help you as an entrepreneur. So what are you waiting for? Get engaged. Be open to learn new things, and I tell you what, your business will begin to skyrocket and you will look for me to thank me afterwards. My last tips for today would be find good people. There is nothing you will do in this life that requires success that you don't need good people to make that happen. So you need to learn to look for good people, right? Who you're with is who you become. Reid Hoffman, co-founder of LinkedIn, noted that the fastest way to change yourself is to hang out with people who are already the way you want to be. It's almost like saying that birds of the same feathers flock together. So you don't want to be a successful entrepreneur and you're hanging out with struggling entrepreneurs who don't take their work seriously, who don't know the difference between, striving and relaxing. Does that make sense? Okay, and that's it on my top 3 tips on how to succeed as an entrepreneur today on this segment of the entrepreneurship show, Social Trader. I'm very much excited to know that you kept a date with us and you stayed through to the end of the show. I mean, you could have been anywhere else, but you decided to spend this time with me. And I tell you what, there would never be a regret that you actually stayed to listen through to the show because your business is definitely going to be affected. Alright, thank you so much, guys. On that note, I'd like to say my adios, goodbyes, and I hope to speak with you next time. I hope to talk to you again next time. And remember, for your comments and feedbacks, you can always hit us up across all our social media handles. That is on Facebook or Instagram at Africa Business Radio, Twitter at Africa Biz Radio. On behalf of the Africa Business Radio team, myself, Onoja, I am saying, do have a great one and best of luck.
Today's market transcends beyond herbs and shops. Global Trends sets the pace for today's trader. On Africa Business Radio, we bring you Social Trader, keeping you updated around the world of online business across social media platforms on africabusinessradio.com.